Guys, like, let me talk you through the function of the app. We're trying to create, a community where you have authentic recipes being given from person to person. We want the main, one of the main features, which is obviously recipe discovery, to be, packaged in what we want it to be, free tier, right? And then what we want to do is we want to have a subscription model that allows users to optimize. So you have this database of recipes, and then cool, like look, let's package some, AI features that allow users to optimize that, just help people to understand, right? Nutrient analysis, but going deeper, understanding the role of iron, in your bodily function. Like just going a bit deeper in terms of the nutrient analysis. Like I'm talking like, to the level of athletes, people that have to optimize. We want that to just be like, we don't want that, that idea of optimizing, getting that nutritional service. Like, I imagine for quite a few people, when you get to that certain level, you think, cool, I'm going to get a nutritionist, I'm going to be super, super optimized. But, why does it have to be when you get to the certain level? Like, let's make this more accessible. And so we want to, build an AI that will package AI in a way that affords that. You see how I said earlier we want it to be person to person? We want that to do something by focusing on recipes and framing it in that kind of social way, right? We want recipes to kind of act like a gateway. And again, please, please give me your thoughts. Please, leave a comment if I don't know if you wouldn't mind, like, demoing the app, or maybe if we could send you a development build, or I don't know, like, you want people to be involved. But what was I saying? So yeah, we want recipes to act as a gateway to understanding. What do I mean by that? Look, what I was saying about the root of certain problems is, look, obviously you're building something, you're trying to solve some problem. We want this app to solve multiple problems, but you lead with one problem, and the easiest to kind of market will likely be the recipe discovery, the nutritional, insight type of aspect. But this problem I can kind of speak to you about. It's a bit harder to kind of market, but look, imagine we obviously live in a time of significant conflict, right? And I don't know, I think that at the root of the problem, lack of understanding. We want to work on understanding that what we feel is the fundamental problem to, just much larger scale issues. And, doing that in a small way, obviously we don't claim the application is going to solve that problem, but we want to just, if you're building, lead with purpose, right? Let it just, even in the smallest way, let it just contribute to something much larger than the app itself. Let's work on that significant issue by making recipes a gateway to understanding other people, other cultures which you, by no fault of your own, may not have been as privileged to have enjoyed, and so you lack that understanding. But what happens when you tap into it? All of a sudden you can kind of relate to a group, a person you've never been able to relate to, and in that sense, we hope that it will be able to bring people closer together. I don't know. That's like, me explaining it, but me being able to kind of market and kind of get that into something is different. But yeah, I kind of want to just try and document the process of trying to bring something to market. My co-founder and I, we've been kind of developing it, working on it in the dark, right? But now, like, look, let's be kind of public about what we're trying to do and, trying to take it to market. Right now, what I'm thinking to do is go to some Reddit communities, just kind of be genuine, right? Not go in there trying to just directly advertise the product, but go in there just asking for advice, right? That's kind of what I'm doing with this YouTube as well. Like, I don't know, hopefully this, reaches people that are just kind of interested in stuff like this. I would just love to hear your thoughts genuinely. And I'm thinking to take the same approach, going into Reddit. I haven't really used that app. But yeah, that's one thing. But that's kind of where I'll start. Obviously, I think we need to do some organic posting, maybe trying to just I don't know, I'm thinking like first step is, you know, direct people to landing page, get people to perhaps like, you know, donate a kind of recipe that might be kind of close to them, and, you know, obviously get their email as well, so that when we launch later, we can obviously reach back out to them. But we can kind of like, I don't know, the idea is if we can get them to donate a recipe and we say like, look, come back to us when we finish and we'll have like, you know, and make sure you log in. I mean, you sign up with that same email that you gave to us. We'll make sure that, you know, this data that you've submitted to us is now mapped to your account and it's packages, you know, this kind of recipe. I don't know, I just feel like it might mean that they're more likely to kind of come back at least to see how their recipe was, you know, how it came together in our app. But that's what I'm thinking. So working on landing page, just like I had a conversation with, you know, someone, you know, that's been in the kind of position of taking an app to market, and they're saying, you know, just speak to, you know, think about who it is you're targeting, who your target user is, and just go out there and just speak to as many as you can. And so again, if you are interested in you know, nutritional insight, eating optimally, just having more recipe ideas, please reach out. I'm here. I'm going to be active on comments. Obviously, I have 2 subscribers, and 2 of which are my co-founder. So yeah, be here. I want to document just a few, you know, projects. I want to document, obviously, us doing this. I also, hopefully the next video will be about this ESP32 microcontroller. I can't wait to drop that, but I'm currently editing it. So yeah, just subscribe, like. I'll catch you guys in a bit.